Las Vegas, Nevada. Super Bowl 58. Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals taking on Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals taking on the champions from the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The CD, the Bengals, they're back for the second time in 3 years, looking for that first ever Super Bowl title.
Can you believe they're 0-3 in the big game? 2 losses to the Niners in the 80s, 2 really tough ones, and a loss to the Rams in 2022. Their motivation, sky high. They're ready to bring that first title back to Cincinnati.
Meanwhile, for the Bucs, the prevailing thought was no Tom Brady, no Super Bowl. But they're back, looking for their second win in 4 years.
And add that to the first one that they had previously. Remember that one out in San Diego, partner? A big second half against the Raiders to get their first Super Bowl title. Now they want to get another one. Tom Brady or not, the Buccaneers feel good about this one.
The final act of the 2023 season is at hand. What a spectacle in Las Vegas. We're off in Super Bowl 58. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And bringing them out is the top pick in the 2018 draft. Fiery competitor from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we are looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
Baker going to throw this right away. There's a short one taken in by Otten. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Mayfield now on second down. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. They run for the first time here with Rachaad White, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. Mayfield. He'll get that out to the flat to White. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. To throw, Mayfield. To Evans on the slant. And Evans will have a Bucs first down as the tackle is made right at the 25-yard line. Mayfield with it once more. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 2nd and 5. Now Mayfield. Gets it out quick. It's Gage on the slant. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down. Here's Mayfield. Throw out right. It's brought in by Otten. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 9-yard line, 2nd and 6. Mayfield looks to throw. And he's got it. 3 catches for him now in this first quarter of the Super Bowl. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on 4th down here. They'll run for it. This is White. And not only will he not get in, he's going to lose yardage. They stuff him back at the 4. Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
And no doubt he's living out a dream right now. He's had dating back to his first days of playing football as a kid. But he certainly can't get lost in the moment right now. There's still a Super Bowl to be played, and his offense, they're looking to him to be their leader. You can take it all in when it's over. Right now, you've got the biggest game of your life to win.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. You look at this Super Bowl, the 2nd appearance for this head coach. The first one did not go as planned, as we all know. But what do you think he's learned from that first go-around?
He learned how much it hurts to lose, and that's what you hear from coaches so often. They don't remember the wins as much as they remember the losses. You can talk about the media, the scrutiny, the hoopla, but once you've had to shake a head coach's hand and jog off the field and know you have to face the media, face your fans, face your home life, knowing that you've lost the Super Bowl, that hurts big time, and you're going to do everything possible to try and prevent that from happening again.
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. Looking deep here for Chase. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now they go play action now. Burrow. Man open. That's Jamar Chase complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 28. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Burrow will throw. Able to find Higgins. And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And this is exactly the kind of drive you're hoping for out of the gates. They're mixing the run and the pass well, keeping this defense off balance early. And they're on the march here with another first down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Jamar Chase, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Bengals are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Mayfield now. There's a short one taken in by Otten.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They go right back to White here on 1st down. And the tackle there by Jermaine Pratt.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Throwing, Mayfield. And his throw is incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Mayfield to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 45-yard line. 3 catches for him now in this first quarter of the Super Bowl. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. He'll look to throw. Looks for White, but it's intercepted. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Now Burrow. Short throw to Smith. Oh, fighting off the defender. Still fighting for more. Touchdown. Irv Smith Jr., 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Bengals will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
McPherson now for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Across the formation, he finds Godwin. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw here. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Again, it's Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Elijah Cansey in on the stop. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Here's a 2nd and 5. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. 14-0 is our score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now 2nd and 5. Now it's Burrow. Throwing the out route, finding Boyd for the completion. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd from 13 yards out. And the Bengals continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. Or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
McPherson on for the point after. And it is now 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's finished off by the touchdown from Tyler Boyd. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here, and sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Going with White here, toss left. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here on these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll set up a throw. And that will be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
A 4th down. Here's Jay Camarda on to punt for the Bucs. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Here's Burrow. Open man is chased. And gets 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there at 22.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Mix it up the middle. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Well, he does have one touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him first and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a second time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. They'll give it to Mixon. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. 56 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on first and goal.
On second down, here's Burrow. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Vita Vea collapses the pocket and drops him for a loss of 3.
Traditionally, as a defense, your number 1 job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. Burrow looking to pass. Being chased. Now Burrow loses the football.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. So out come the Bucs now. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. And McPherson on for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and the bottom line is protect the football and just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points, but that doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try and put the ball in the end zone yourself.
Mayfield on first down. It's grabbed over the middle by White. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
They run straight ahead here with White. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. He'll drop to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Dancing to his left. And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the first down. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Well, it's caught on the right side, it's Smith. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw.
And that's caught one more time by Boyd. And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Inside handoff to Mixon. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Here we go. 180.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Here we go. 180.
And they will take a knee here. Two minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Here's Mixon. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. They run for it with Mixon, and he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon taking it in from a yard out. And the Bengals are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl. Well, this defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
McPherson now for the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Back now comes Tampa Bay.
And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for him throughout the game, and that 3-and-out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Mayfield. He completes it right side to White. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On 3rd down, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work.
It may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. Short throw to Smith. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They're going to look to throw. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try to pick up another 1st down.
And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 12-yard line. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the 2nd half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. We saw a strong first half out of the quarterback, Joe Burrow. He connected on 3 touchdown passes in those first 2 quarters, as his guys have built up a sizable lead here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These 2 teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl.
And the fair catch signaled for and taken, so they'll begin this 3rd quarter from their 25-yard line. The Bengal offense ready to go to begin this 3rd quarter. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the 4th quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch of this 3rd quarter, he had 7 in the first half. It's also a 1st down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Took just 1 play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket. Vita
able to drop in that time for his second sack of the evening.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. From the gun, a give to Mixon. Shrugs him off. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 80 yards rushing for him now. A big part of why they lead in this Super Bowl.
Well executed there on second down. So do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 36. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. They'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
On second down, Burrow. Short throw to Smith. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On first and 10, Joe Burrow. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Burrow will throw. It's caught. Smith. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
To the air again, Burrow.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, With his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Burrow.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half.
Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, Mayfield. And a catch right side by Evans. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Now Mayfield. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. His 2nd sack of the night.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Oh, the return is Jones. A good return there. Call it 13 yards.
And they will take over 1st and 10. There's a look at receiver Jamar Chase as the Bengals get set to go on offense.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
94 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
first down. Here's Burrow. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Joe Tryon from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. That's to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive?
Well, partner, that was a heck of a play right there because there is no chance that he was the primary receiver on that play. Definitely checked it down to him and just said, please, help us out, make a play. And he does and delivers a first down.
So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30.
Now Burrow. Eluding the pressure right.
Got a man open. It's Chase.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Yet again, that's his 3rd sack here tonight.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealy, 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing those golden high tops as well.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A handoff to Mixon. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
He's got Otten.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Mayfield's throw on target to Godwin here. And Godwin going to have a Bucs first down as he's going to get this down to the 45-yard line. Throwing, Mayfield. Delivering a pass here to Evans on the out route. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's second down. Mayfield now. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football, but right now they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium in Super Bowl 58.
We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mayfield with it once more. To the sideline and incomplete. Intended target on that one, Russell Gage.
And now it's second down.
Mayfield looks to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Mayfield on 3rd and 2. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here we go on 4th down. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Meanwhile, Burrow's throw there taken in by Smith.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Here we go. 180. Nice up. Gotta go, guys.
Here's Burrow.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
And the Bengals on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 3. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Powerful running. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
110 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Here we go. Big 13. Big 13.
And they take a knee.
Here we go. Here we go. 180.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Now it's Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he is going to have the Bengals first down. It's going to be a gain of 13 there as they convert by a good 3 yards on 4th down. They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just the pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
And they will take a knee here. And they take a knee. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Burrow looking to pass. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
4th down, but Burrow stays put. They're going for it.
Now it's Burrow.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup at 13 sets them up 1st and goal. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. He'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. Tyler Boyd. His 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl.
And the Bengals are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game. Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the 4th quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks ago seems like a distant memory as they have been outplayed tonight. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield finding Otten once more. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. Mayfield to throw it. Here's White. They set up the screen. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. Here's Jones on the return. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off. Past the 20 for a short gain, 2nd down. Second down and 6 now. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. Powering his way forward. That good for 22 and a first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. That goes for a gain of 31.
This has been the story all night long. They just came out firing and have not backed off, even with the big 4th quarter lead. Here's another completion for big yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground, incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. And Burrow going to throw again. He completes it to Boyd. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 25 yards that time.
Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
Burrow will throw. Steps away to his left. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Not the first and goal. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
They're able to hold them to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. No hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay. I think probably just trying to draw him off there. It didn't work.
And defensively, that's what you work on all the time. Being in that spot and being able to not jump and give them the yardage that they were desiring.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The Burrow's going to look to throw for it.
And they're just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
So out come the Bucs now.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
DJ Reader able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points, down by 4 touchdowns, haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a day to forget for all involved? Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
And Mayfield again with the interception, his third. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 for a Bengals TD. But not only is this defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one, and even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the backflip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They go play action. Mayfield. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Cincinnati has given you the Super Bowl title. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all off season, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.
We got London on it. Oh, dig it.